Yep.
We should be back on now. We're technically back on now, Pete.
Cool.
Technically.
Wait, why only technically?
I mean, because it'll take a minute before Twitch realizes we're actually back on.
Oh,
hey, we got quality selectors now.
Hey, wonderful. Also,
Twitch.
My chat refreshed when I refreshed, but I saw V-Bunny, I think, said that they just finished their first campaign that they've ever DM'd today.
Oh, yeah, first campaign to completion. That's
a huge accomplishment. Congratulations, V-Bunny. It's like, so few campaigns actually like see a satisfying conclusion, or just even a conclusion. So that's like a huge deal to reach there. So again, kudos to you, V-Bunny. I'm very happy for you.
Absolutely. Very few dungeon masters are able to master the art of completing a campaign. You know, you can play with a group for so long, but like it takes that next level of knowing your players to be able to bring it to that point. So I'm real happy for you, my dude. That's really exciting. I have quite a few of those under my belt personally, but
I got exactly one. You're tied with me now, V-Bunny.
Celtic Lady new character introduction. Yeah, no, new character introductions, when they go well, they go super. Anyway, Pete, I've just been babbling. Just briefly before we jump into lab experiments, and then I'll let you take that away, Pete, with lab. But after lab experiments, we're going to be talking about the new Honest Arcana that has recently come out. It's called Subclasses Part 4. It's part of the UA 2020 series, and it's super exciting. It's got some really cool stuff, and it's going to be fun to talk about. Pete, shall we move to our lab experiment segment?
Bring us up on the dual wielding docks. If I remember correctly, the dual docks that we have here, I have to like tell you when to scroll and stuff, right?
Oh no, they're all backwards right now.
No, that's right. You have it right. The one that I'm working from is on me, and the one that you're working from is on you.
Never mind, they're correct.
You did it good. It's because the names are flipped. Maybe we should make it. It might be easier if we change.
The time's already started.
Oh wait, don't start. We're going to restart because they're going to explain. We have to. The time doesn't start until we have both like talked about our things.
All right, timer's gone.
The time at the top is a lie right now.
Pete, what's lab experiments? What is this segment, and what are our prompts?
Yeah, like we're saying, we're going to each give each other 2 potential subclass ideas. The ones that me and Jeremy talked about this beforehand. We picked ones that we thought would be relatively, we didn't put together something that's going to be a complete nightmare, completely out of left field, because it is very difficult to design a subclass in an hour. Some of the folks I see that Flipnote and Cold Spark are both here. They took the challenge with us last time, and they can, I think, attest to it is not easy to design a subclass in 1 hour. Farful 13, time is a lie right now, has been accurate for quite a while. oh dear. So yeah, we're gonna just see what we can slap together right now, and as we go through, please yell suggestions at us. Me and Jeremy had the unfair advantage of having chat to like help us out as we were building our subclasses last time, which definitely was without question a huge help to try and get in under the time limit. Do you want to hear what I have for you, Jeremy? Do you want to hear your 2 prompts? You ready? I can't hear you, Jeremy.
That's just because I was on the mute. Pete, we had that chat last time, and I had mentioned, right, that let's pick some kind of softballs. What I ended up doing is I picked one very soft ball for you, and then I picked one very hard ball. I actually came up with, 6 or 7 different subclass concepts, and I was brainstorming for this, but I've narrowed it down to 2.
I had kind of a fun... I have a medium ball for you, and a softball for you. So we'll see. Also, I have kind of a fun. Mine has a fun naming convention that I put together.
Okay. And are we gonna take any amount of time to explain briefly what the concept is?
I think a sentence, like a sentence or so, just to make it clear what you have in mind when you say the title of it. I think is enough.
Okay. All right, Pete. Well, let's see. What do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
I'll go first. I'll throw you mine.
Okay.
The first one that I have for you is a fighter subclass, and that is a Dungeoneer fighter. A fighter with a little bit more utility that's good at fighting in close quarters, maybe has some interaction with like traps and investigation. It's a fighter that's intentionally going after like tombs and dungeons and things like that. And my second one for you is the Warlock Patron Dragon.
Interesting.
And I think the Dragon Patron Warlock is, of course, my big softball. We've talked about this for a long time, that it's unfathomable that there isn't a Dragon Warlock in Dungeons and Dragons already.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
So I got you a dungeon option or a dragon option, Jeremy.
Interesting. If anybody said Indiana Jones, I was immediately thinking Tomb Raider. But
that was the kind of thing that I was thinking. I was thinking
since I played Tomb Raider.
With you was like a Tomb Raider style character. That would be make a great fighter too.
The last time I played Tomb Raider was on PlayStation 1, and the only Indiana Jones movie I've ever seen is The Crystal Skull. So maybe I'm not going to pick the Dungeoneer fighter.
Oh, well, actually, Jerry, I want to say one more option for you. When I was doing Dungeoneer fighter, this is an A or B on Dungeoneer fighter. I was also very much thinking it could function really well as a ranger too. So if that is something that would work better for you and appeals to you, I think that would be a valid option as well. So A or B on that one.
Okay. Pete, the two that I have for you
I'm
are
ready.
A monastic tradition, the way of the Zephyr Dancer. And basically my thought was like a ribbon dancer.
Okay, that's not what I thought that you were going for.
Yeah, all about like movement, kind of flowing movements, maybe ribbons. I kind of like had somewhere in the back of my head incorporating some of the concepts that were really excluded about like air and stuff, like from the Four Elements monk, which we do not speak of much. But that was one concept that I had. And this is the tough one now. That was my low ball.
Oh no, I thought that was going to have been the tough one. I'm scared.
Oh no! Oh boy, well then you're in a rough shape.
Oh no!
This one's a nightmare, Pete. I'm sorry. This is the roguish archetype, the man and his monkey.
What?
A rogue that has like a little pet companion.
Are you talking about like the organ grinder rogue?
What?
Like you always see like the organ grinder that has like the dancing monkey in like performing on city streets and stuff.
Yeah, maybe something like that, or like Aladdin and Abu, or even like Barbossa and Jack in Pirates.
Actually,
but yeah, like
I actually completely get what you're.
Yeah,
I completely get what you're going for. Now that you're with those examples,
it's a rogue who works very closely with their basically familiar that does cooler stuff than a familiar. I'm sorry, I threw you some tough ones. I realize. No, I'm
ready. I'm ready. No, we can do it. All right. Jeremy, that is what I'm actually going to go with. Believe it or not, that's the one I'm going to take a stab at. Do you know which way you're going to go?
I'm going with the Dragon Warlock, buddy.
Warlock.
I'll take the low ball.
Okay.
Time start. Go.
Wait, no, wait.
Right.
Did you start it?
I started the timer.
Oh my god. All right.
All right. Well, okay. First thing I want to do
is at least a moment of silence as we start to like.
No. We're going right in, Pete. Full tilt right off the bat. Chat, let us know what you guys are picking. I see V-Buddy was saying the Dungeoneer Ranger sounds cool. If you make that would be rad as heck. I'd be very into seeing what you put together with that.
Yeah, anyone playing along at home, anything that inspires you from the ideas that we have. Like we recommended last time that people do the ones that we didn't pick, as in this case, the Dungeoneer or the Way of the Zephyr. But, just whatever gives you inspiration, go with that.
Got an expanded spell list, a level.
What do rogues even get? What level do rogues get abilities? I don't know. I've never done a rogue. I've tried a rogue subclass before, but I don't have a completed rogue subclass that I'm a big fan of.
6 feet.
The man and his monkey, roguish archetype.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use the name man and his monkey. In fact, I prefer you pick a more.
I'm gonna work on that.
That's name, but that'll work for now. Gotta look up Rangers. Oh, flipped out thinking about the Dungeoneer Ranger. Flipped out, I wish you were the best. That one sounded too tough for me. Actually, it sounds so cool, but I just feel like I would do it terribly. Like, I wouldn't do it justice for the things people think of. Because I'm bad and I don't watch enough.
I gotta look at some of the phrasing for, like, how a roguish archetype, like, defines its subclass. Gotta work on my flavor text here.
Okay. So what do we get? What do we get for this stuff? Let me just like start brainstorming some flavor here. What do we want from our Dragon Warlock? Chat, I need your help. Ooh, after going to Zephyr Dancer, never brewed a monk before. I wish you the absolute best of luck after. Jin, excellent idea. I mean, we need breath weapons. Here's a question though. Do I try to incorporate all of the different colors and types of dragons, or do I just stick with like red dragon or something iconic? I think I have to do all of them, right? Yeah, oh god, all right. Design note here. Avoid overlap with Sorcerer. Oh no, this is where it's gonna get tough. Farfel, you said that you've done some brewing of a Dragon Warlock in the past. What did...
I was going to say, don't give him too much. Don't give it all away.
No, I don't want you to tell me what you did. I wonder, is that like a big struggle you ended up running into? Was overlap with the Sorcerer? Because right off the bat, with the Sorcerer gets a resistance, oh god, and scales, which give armor. All right, I'm going to not do scales. No, he's thought about it and come to no conclusions? Oh, okay.
I keep like, I'm hearing you talk and I keep wanting to be like, oh, well, maybe you could try this for a thing. Because I was thinking about a Dragon Patron a lot.
Do that, Pete.
No, I can't. I don't have time for that. I do not. Hey, there's no way.
Pete, we're only 5 minutes in.
Oh my god, we're already 5 minutes in.
All right, so the Sorcerer gets wings, resistances, and a fearful presence. Oh my god, it's literally everything. All right. All right, so I can overlap maybe one of these. It doesn't get a breath weapon, so that's going to have to be like Jin Hall was saying, that's going to be number one. I have to have a breath weapon in here. What else does it mean to be a dragon?
All right. So what levels do I don't even know what rogues get stuff at levels. We get 3, 9, 13, and 17.
It's so hard.
3rd, 9th, 13th.
This sure gets claws today.
And 17th.
Oh, they also get hit points. Oh my god. Oh, jeez, they get everything. Oh no. Oh. Extra damage. Oh, we gotta ignore the messages I'm getting for work. Quit teams. Okay.
So for starters, the thing I have to do for 3rd level on this is inevitably going to be create the feature that lets you have a really cool buffed up familiar. I think this is going to end up looking kind of like what the Arcane Trickster gets with Mage Hand Ledgermane, where they get this really buffed up Mage Hand. This rogue is going to get a buffed up Find Familiar, kind of like a Chain Pact Warlock, almost, I think this will end up being.
Okay.
So that's the feature I'm working on right now, which I'm calling tentatively Sworn Companion.
All right, so ancient dragons. What do they got? They tend to be very skilled. Oh, here we go. They got some legendary actions. Guys, I'm gonna mine some of the legendary actions of the dragon and see if I can pull anything useful out of this. Holy shit! Layer action for a ancient gold dragon. It can glimpse into the future. That's incredible.
That's sick.
I didn't even know that. Okay, so all dragons have detect. They can make a perception check. I'm gonna see if I can find a way to like include that in what I'm doing here, because that sounds, I don't know, that just sounds good. You're a little bit more perceptive and aware because you've got dragon stuff. Oof. This is really hard, guys. What else do they have? They can change shape. Okay, so we're all about that breath weapon, and maybe like alternate breath weapons with whack effects. So like, I know the gold dragon has the weakening breath, right, where it can like I guess make a target weaker, have disadvantage on strength stuff. So maybe Pete, you want a small beast?
Yeah, or I'm sorry, tiny would actually probably be a better one.
I don't know.
Tiny beast. I'm picturing
a flying monkey is a small beast, Pete.
I don't think you want a flying monkey. I want like a lemur or a parrot or
maybe a rat. And I know the urchin background gets a small rat companion.
Make it a mouse.
Awesome
Yeah,
would it be?
That would be a really fun thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yes, my little rat companion is actually my big beast companion. I would cross-class into this Beastmaster Ranger just to get that stuff.
This seems like it's going to be
Beastmaster
really fun
Ranger,
to play.
Beastmaster Rogue, Beastie Boys. What else? Okay, so it gets this legendary resistance, and I think I want to stick along that. So a lot of people, when they're playing monsters, they think legendary resistance is purely a like mechanical feature that monsters get to make them tougher. And while it is, I think like conceptually it means more than that, right? Like it's the creature's force of charisma and force of personality imposing their will upon the universe and making it so. So I kind of want, right now, I want like maybe the little 10 feature to be called Impose Will. That just sounds like a cool concept, and maybe I can do something cool like related to a legendary resistance or something like that. V-Bunny, I think you're saying that it's a good idea for me, and I'll take it.
So another thing that I want to do at third level, because this feature kind of functions as you have a special familiar, you can get them up all the time. You basically always get to have this little character that's going to be around with you. But I want to also make it so that it's better than an average family. So we're using Sworn Companion here to just make the guy, and then we're going to also train them with this next feature. I'm calling Impeccable Training off the bat. And I feel like the little thing that you should get, because you're a rogue, I think that they should get some skills. I think that the beast should get extra skills. Like if it's a monkey, it should, even though it's just a monkey that you summon, it should be able to pick locks. Like that's what feels right to me for this. Sword is actually on the exact same wavelength I see here at Pete. Monkey see, monkey do. Your companion, being of reasonable intelligence, learns the art of thievery from watching you. Becomes proficient in the same skill checks as the player.
That's very good.
That's almost exactly what I was going to say. What I'm going to do is actually... your great mind, Sword. Your familiar gains proficiency in any skills in which you have expertise.
Okay, maybe I can do that as well. Okay.
Beginning when you choose this archetype at third level. Gotta get that phrasing in there. So the other thing is we want this to be embedded. We want this creature to become just ingrained in your fighting style. So for one thing, they need some kind of they need some kind of survivability. And so your little companion creature has to be able to, one, not just die to like an AoE attack, and like they have to not die to AoE. They have to, like, when they get hit, if you want this to be like an indelible part of your fighting style, to not like go down in a single hit. Or if they do so, to be able to get them back right now. Right now, I have the casting of the Find Familiar spell at a minute, so that way you don't have to take the full hour to get your guy back every time that they go down. But we're going to need to make that even a little bit more accessible. We also probably want somewhere to make the familiar that we're going to get from this interact with sneak attack in some meaningful way, because that's just a fun, like, that's something that you probably want somewhere in rogue classes. They haven't done that much up to this point, but I think that that's something that you're going to start to see more in rogues moving forward, and I would like to head in that direction. I also got to look at the Find Familiar spell and make sure I'm not assuming things about it.
All right, maybe start with the expand spell list. Oh, I agree. Great reaction. Yeah. All right. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'll start with the expanded spell list. That might not be a bad place to start. It's something easy. I can nail it, get out of the way, and I can be happy with it. What is a Warlock extended spell list? These are spells they can choose, I believe. They don't just know these. They can choose from them. They have to be non-Warlock spells, which is a pain in the ass. But that's okay. That's okay.
So 9th level, we want to have some survivability features. And maybe, so here's a couple of options. Like, if you want to be fighting in conjunction with your familiar, I don't know if, like, we want the monkey to, like, if you have a monkey, it doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense for me for this creature to just have, like, an attack monkey that jumps on people and, like, tries to claw their eyes out. Like, that's kind of interesting, but I just don't see whatever creature you're getting. They're more meant to, like, distract and to, like, do kind of pull tricks, it seems, more than just, like, be a battle animal, like, say, a Beastmaster Ranger. V-Money is actually saying the same thing. Now, you don't need the monkey to attack. But, so... I don't know. Jeremy, I have a quick question for you. Having, like, if you have a familiar on your shoulder, would that be considered having an ally within 5 feet for the purposes of sneak attack?
You know, that's something you could say. I think that's reasonable. Actually, I think mechanically, yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like, interesting. Like, I was about to make a feature like that, and I thought, I guess it just kind of functions as that way.
And Colt Mark saying, is Dragon's Breath a Warlock spell? I believe it is. So that is off the picture for me. Off the table. God, first level spells right off the bat. Big, powerful dragon stuff. What makes sense? Burning Hands is too specific. Maybe Command? That'd be taking it in a funky direction, but maybe that's fine. What else could possibly... Detect Magic, maybe? Because they want treasure. That kind of makes sense a little bit. Really? Dragon's Breath is... Oh, I'm sorry. That's a second level spell. I was looking at first levels. So we're going to put that... Thank you, Gold Spark. We got one. What else is it first level? Honestly, Earth Tremor even, like, kind of works for me, just because it's kind of like... I'm not sold on it yet, but it kind of works. Man, some of these are...
Is AoE a keyword in 5e? Area.
Area is, I believe, but not area of effect. Yeah, Mr. Plunder. For the Warlock expanded spells, it actually expressly has to not be a Warlock spell. It works differently than a lot of the other expanded spell lists in the game, interestingly.
All right, so I actually kind of like that feature, and let me know what you guys think of it. If your bonded beast would be targeted by an attack while it was within 5 feet of you, you can force the attack to target you instead. When you succeed on a saving throw against a spell that targets an area, your bonded beast also succeeds on that saving throw if they are within 5 feet of you.
Oh man! Don't worry about it, Frosty. I see you just jumped in. It's all good.
If you want to come in late and do your own hour, the stuff that we have here tonight, we have the Way of the Zephyr Dancer, so like a ribbon dancer monk was an option. I'm doing the roguish archetype, the man and his monkey, which is, you're a rogue and then you have a small animal companion kind of thing. Not as like attacky as the Beastmaster is the direction I'm starting to take it. Jeremy's stabbing at the dungeon. At the Dragon Warlock patron.
This is a lot harder than I think, guys.
A Dungeoneer fighter that is out there in the option as well, or Dungeoneer Ranger. I'd also recommend it as a kind of another option on that.
All right. So I'm trying to think of. I'm looking through these spells, and as I'm going through them, I'm seeing. Well, some of these are like kind of reflect. Yeah, detect treasure. That might be a fun little note. And I think that actually, I'm going to put that up here. It's making me think. What is a warlock whose patron is a dragon, right? What does that represent? And I think the thing I got to consider here is, in what way does the warlock help the dragon, right? Does it, oh my God, you are rocking this beat. Holy shit.
I got 3 features down right now. I'm feeling pretty strong, actually.
Oh my God, I am a dumpster right now. But yeah, it's like, what is it? David, stop it. I can't. What does it mean to be a dragon warlock patron? And I think the reality of it is you are, like, you serve the dragon in some way, at least as much as the dragon believes and feels, right? You serve some greater purpose, whether it is to gain a treasure for the dragon or expand its influence. But I think that's the vibe I need to stick with. And so maybe what I can do is I can kind of build along that line. Features like locate objects, see invisibility. Farfel, you suggested like a detect treasure kind of vibe. Those are things I can include here to be like, well, it's not that like you are a dragon, like with the sorcerer, right? You're part dragon thing, but a little bit less on the nose, I think, from a design. I think I need to go in that direction. Otherwise, I'm going to hit some walls. Oh boy! Now I can't think of anything besides a monkey flinging poo. Well,
I don't know if I'm going to get that. I don't know if I'm going to get that feature in there.
This might work. Oh man.
So I'm going on to this next thing. One thing I feel like this should be able to do is your familiar should be able to do some kind of hijinks kind of things. That's what I'm tentatively calling this feature. It feels like they should be able to do stuff like go over and like cover up the eyes of your enemy for a second to like distract them, or do something like, try and you pick their pocket while you stuff like that. So Find Familiar have their own turn initiative. One thing that's interesting is you're not going to be you're just going to be controlling this familiar inevitably pretty directly, because it's going to be functioning as the Find Familiar spell, which gets its own initiative. So you don't actually need action economy to like control this thing and tell it what to do, but it still seems like giving like a more specific command might make sense. So I think I'm going to come up with a couple of different things that you can do for this hijinks that are, you can use a bonus action to give the command, and then the familiar use it as reaction to do it. And that's going to be the way that we're going to calculate out that action economy. We don't want to make any of these like, and another thing is I just saying like, distracts. So like goes for the eyes. We can't do anything too powerful, like gives advantage on the attack, because like a bonus action then to just get advantage on all your attacks would be wild. I see Sword was just in the same place. Yeah, I think that's going to be too much. I think we got to make these very minor effects. I would love to. Yeah, see, that's the thing though, is we don't, maybe that doesn't even work because we don't want to. It makes no sense to limit the usage of that because there's no reason that they couldn't try and do something like that all the time because it's just an animal. And any effect that you're doing as a bonus action would be probably too much in a sense. Maybe that's the wrong direction. I also need to find a way to scale this familiar so they get better as you get better.
Chad, I got a question here. Zephyr is like a light gust, a gentle gust of wind, a gentle breeze. They're just zephyrs, right? When you see leaves floating gently in the breeze in the fall, those are zephyrs. Frosty. But Chad, how wild would it be if instead of going in this I made this a melee warlock? Why don't I do that?
Melee warlock?
I could just do that.
Yeah. You can do that.
I could just do that, and then I could use stuff like Staggering Smite and Wrathful Smite, and
cool.
these big Paladin Smite features that like would work for like a big dragon hit. That might not be a terrible idea. Work with Elemental Weapon there, but does Elemental Weapon work with the Warlock Invocations? Oh, Christ. Yeah, the Hexblade does exist. It's up. Yeah, I mean.
And then Capstone. This is going to be a tough class. So this is an interesting one. I can't even imagine what a Capstone would be for this one, because it's such like, it feels like kind of a low-level character that would have the little monkey that roams around them, and it's hard to imagine like what a monkey is going to bring to you when you're like in 17th level territory. So that's kind of interesting. Looking at that.
That's what makes it so deadly. It's underestimated.
That maybe that's true. Maybe that's the direction to go.
That big bad's like, haha, you fool. You think you're a pitiful monkey? Feel around with my huge wand. Oh, wait, where's my wand? The monkey's running off with the wand of Orcus, like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And then Orcus dies. That's how it goes. Pete, we're 25 minutes in and I haven't written a damn thing.
Oh no, Jeremy. You gotta just start throwing. You gotta start throwing it down.
No. I need to just keep focus. I've got this. I can do this. I hope to Christ I can do this. All right, chat. What the hell else? Man, 5th level is where this gets nightmare for spells. There's really just not a lot that super works here. Where are we going with this patron? Farfel, I don't know, man. I'm getting myself just absolutely
stuck in a hole,
fuddled here. Yeah. Oh my goodness. We're gonna leave level 5 spells for now. All right, we're gonna go in this melee direction because I think I can at least start a framework here, and that could be really cool. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's start by looking at that. What is it called? The Hexblade. Because I think there is some stuff you get. It's proficiencies. Okay. Call this Draconic Warrior for now because I don't have a better.
if it's any help to you, Jeremy, while
But this
you're
is
working on this.
so too much like that.
Yeah, some of the direction that I was picturing, like, I was picturing you getting some stuff that would make you like you're actually kind of going where I thought with melee. I was picturing some like I
Yeah.
pictured this dragon patron at a lot of times like going onto all fours and like almost like imitating a dragon, like having like getting some like claws and stuff, and like moving a little bit differently. Like I pictured stuff kind of in that vein. So that's what I was picturing when I said dragon patron. If that's at all helpful.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, yeah,
It's a tough one.
To each their own.
Hmm. Man, this is a really tough one. Because I'm trying not to go this sorcerer option, which is so. It does all that stuff.
I want them to do, like, make a. It really okay. So here's what it has to become down to. The familiar.
Temporarily turning into a dragon. Ugh, that just feels that's so not Warlock though. And to me.
So we're gonna go. I think the way to go this is actually to expand the actions that a familiar is able to take. So let's see what a familiar is able to do normally. It can take other. The only thing it can't do is attack, so it can take other actions as normal. So yeah, I don't know. It's like there's a lot that this is able to do that it just gets to do by being a familiar. So maybe we just gotta. Maybe we just gotta buff it up.
Okay. So what if I do like a draconic presence? Is that actually might be like the name of? No, it's not. It's frightful presence. It's the dragon. Summon dragon abilities. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I want to make this just like a pet class warlock, where you do everything warlocks do, but you also summon a little dragon to hang out with you. That's not really the vibe I was going with, or like I was thinking of at all.
That's the direction to go, I think. So you and your familiar are able to work together to perform coordinated strikes. When your familiar takes the help action to aid you in combat, that's when the benefit's going to come in, because familiars can just do that. So we'll worry about what benefit that gives you now, and this is where I think the fun of it actually is. So the first one I'm going to say is Burgle.
Burgle. Oh my goodness, such a good name, Pete. Holy crap, you're rocking it. Okay. So
if you
Dragon Endowment. So this is maybe giving them the supernatural powers of your patron. You gain the following benefits. And I'm just gonna go. This is where we're gonna establish them and as melee. I'm gonna go to the Hexblade Warlock right off the bat. And steal some language.
Sneak attack damage is attack. And we're going to say, right now, we're going to use the phrase steals an item stowed somewhere on the the target creature's person. And that's going to be vague language to be later filled in if we have time with better language, because that's not good enough to describe with this effect. But the idea that I'm going for is like, if you're fighting someone with pockets, you can like pick which pocket they go for, and then the DM gives you the stuff in that pocket, whatever dumb stuff that they're holding, or like, you know, maybe you like grab like a spell component, a random spell component out of their bag, so you could like like it would be something that is expressly DM fiat, because it is saying that like you get one object that's in their inventory, but that'll have better language at some point.
Okay, so here's how I want to do this. I think I'm gonna give them the ability to like manifest claws and stuff, just like what you guys are saying. I think that's the direction to go. Claws are which
throw. And so for this distraction one, I'm thinking they have to succeed on intelligence saving throw, or have advantage on perception checks until the end of your next turn. Actually, that's a cool feature. That feature is going to go somewhere else. I like that. It doesn't really work as a mechanical thing, but that idea of your familiar being able to give disadvantage on perception checks to things is very rogue. If you sneak attack is applied to the attack, target with saving throw, or we're going to roughly say blinded, even though that's way too good. Maybe blinded until the end of the turn. That's actually not bad. That's interesting. It's like a fancy way of saying they can't take opportunity attacks, but there might be niche cases, and I also just kind of like the idea of it. And then we're going to also go with, we want to, and I like this, we're going to also trip, and that is if your sneak attack damage is applied to the attack, the target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. And these are all options that you can do with this hijinks. And
Don't worry about the exact language there.
You can use your reaction. I think that has to be reaction based if this is going to be this powerful, because being able to like knock prone very consistently is very good, obviously. So we're gonna make that a thing, and we're talking. I don't know what we got for time left. We got 24 minutes, 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So we're talking.
Oh boy.
For Sword Code here, Simeon bond. For 1 minute, your companion you mentally bond, working and moving as one. During this period, each of you work in perfect harmony, playing off each other's movements and tricks, giving the player advantage on all actions and abilities. Almost like a foresight you're thinking for the capstone. That could be a direction to go. Purple Neko-chan's asking, are we making rogue stuff? Yeah, I'm actually designing a rogue right now. Which is it's a monkey rogue, for lack of a. We're gonna work on. We're gonna work on a name actually right now, I think. And that is going to be the. the
No, okay, we're gonna do the breath weapon later.
I don't want to just say like the companion bard, like the ally. I don't want to use monkey as a specific. If any of you guys have cool ideas for making, no, we're making subclasses actually, Purple Neko-chan. And if anyone has a cool idea for a name for a rogue that just has a little like parrot or a monkey or something that they're friends with, that is something that would be greatly appreciated. The
Jin, I liked your ideas for the Draconic Endowments. I liked them. I'm trying to avoid overlapping too much with the Sorcerer. There are certain things that I think it's going to have, like armor class, for example.
The pirate rogue. The pirate rogue isn't bad. I don't want someone to feel like they have to be have that piratey backstory though to play it, even though it is a very piratey thing.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think that the Draconic
it's a
Warlock
struggle feat. It's such a
would be as
struggle.
bad as it is. Yeah, I'm sorry it worked out this way.
That's okay.
The best friends. The bonded rogue archetype, that's better than what I have right now. At some point I need to come up with a way to flavor justify why you have this thing and it's like a regular animal but you can summon it back with Find Familiar, because that's Vimon was saying the kindred. The kindred is I think I don't know if that's specifically the partner in crime. Maddie, I like that as well. That's a phrase I had used in the intro here. There's no greater asset for a scoundrel than a reliable partner in crime.
Oh my god, but you've got good language in there too. Jeez.
Which I like. I love the phrase partner in crime for this. You said that this was on the opposite end of the spectrum. You said that this was going to be difficult, but this was turning out to be very inspiring.
I know it would be inspiring. It's like the difficulty would be deciding which direction to go with the monkey. But once you've decided it, you wrap. Are these going to be unusable in D&D time? Who knows? Kind of depends on how far we get them.
Not in the form that they're in right now, certainly.
Not in this form.
They might get remade. Thieves' second right hand is pretty good. Beginning at 17th level. What are we going to do for any kind of capstone on this? What's the ultimate move of the it's got to be something goofy. It's got to be some kind of just really good skill.
Okay.
So we're gonna say we're calling this move switcheroo, which is gonna in some way involve you I figured that this is just a really good disarm, which is gonna be the final thing, which is actually I think an idea that you gave me, Jeremy. Where you and your bonded beast can work together to steal objects right out from under a creature's nose. When you when you with an attack that deals your sneak attack damage.
Okay, that kind of
You
works. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to do the HP. I'm not going to do the wings.
To steal carried object from that creature.
All right, I'm okay with this.
If it is within 5 feet of your target. So when you hit a creature with an attack that deals your sneak attack damage, you can command your familiar to steal a carried object from the creature if it is within 5 feet of your target.
I don't even care. That's probably too powerful for that, but I'm going to go for it anyway. It's like a miniature rage.
Creature must enter a contested sleight of hand.
Frosty, time starts now. Way of Zephyr. Go, go, go. 17 minutes. Go. You got this.
9 o'clock. Oh, you're right at 9 o'clock, so that way you'll be getting done right at 10, which we'll be going through stuff. So I'm sure that
or Frosty, you could do a 17-minute subclass.
Oh my god.
Breath weapon. All right. No, let's say by 6th level, your draconic.
It weighs 5 pounds or less. So this is the ultimate ability of this thing. Is if something is light, we have 16, and you can like just take it from it. Roguish archetype. I want to like put. I want to put loyal in the title of this somewhere. Also, I think that we're actually beyond the find familiar spell. I think we want to make a stat block for whatever the thing is, which I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. I think that's the better way.
Frosty. Oh, Frosty, you're killing me, buddy. I might already have more than you do, Jeremy.
Oh no.
It's okay.
Teltyclad was saying, I told a friend today that I thought monks ought to be more like sorcerers, clerics, and fighters combined. The way they are in straight D&D is not very exciting. I think that's a little bit true. There's a lot of people that like the monk. They're very complicated. They're a very interesting class, I guess, is kind of a lame-ish way of describing my thoughts on the monk. I think you get hijinks, actually. So this is the 13th level feature. It seems way too late to get this at 13th level. Like, why do you even have it at that point? We have to make a better way of doing the familiar. Making it the find familiar spell, I don't think is actually going to end up working for this guy.
See, that's where I thought the struggle would come in, Pete. Was it that? You couldn't just...
I mean, like right now I'm at a point where it functions, but it could use its own way of doing a beast, a unique way of doing a beast. So, what we got 14 minutes. We're gonna endeavor to make a stat block right now. Bonded beast. What's in a stat block? That's a great question.
Have fun with that, my dude.
We're gonna make a monkey really quick. Actually, we're gonna look at a rat, but make a monkey.
All right. So I had the idea that the dragon breath is way more magic than maybe it's normally given the credit for. And I'm saying stuff like that your dragon breath, that once you reach 6th level, you can use your breath as both the somatic and material components for spells. That might be interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, as a spellcasting focus is what I should probably say. Puh. So the cast. Yep.
And then we're going to get some ability scores up in here, and we are going to do
rest language.
We're going to go. Do we want to do a stat block, or do we want to just do a more neutral? Now we got to do a stat block, I think. So we're going to do the old 2. We're going to go 3, actually. I like 3. No, but they should get better at dexterity, I think, alongside of you. So maybe we don't want to do it exactly in that manner. Yeah, this is where it's going to start to get a little bit funkier.
Yeah, that's where I thought it'd be hard.
Yeah. All right. I changed my mind. Here's how we're gonna do this. I know what we're going to do. Beginning when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you have formed a bond with a tiny beast of challenge rating 0.
I'm switching around all over the place, trying to keep up with you, Pete.
I'm also. I mean, now I'm just kind of going back and trying to hone. And there's definitely some.
Get Dragon's Breath at 6th level, and then
Wisdom.
This is gonna be easy. All right.
Has the same.
You guys are gonna be shocked at how quick this is gonna turn around. We got this.
Dexterity,
would
wisdom.
Fail a saving throw. You can choose to succeed instead.
The creature has the same dexterity, wisdom, and charisma saving throws as you. I'm sorry, wait, not saving throws. Charisma. You might end up coming out on top of me, Jeremy. Oh no! You're in the finish line.
We're back, boys. 10 minutes is 10 minutes, Pete. I got you for 10 minutes.
Of playtime. Dexterity, wisdom.
All right. The color's changed forcibly. Great name. 14. We'll worry about it later. Yeah, purple. Yeah, exactly. How the dragon shows them. And Jin's absolutely correct. The spellcasting focus part for the dragon's breath means you don't need material components, so it doesn't matter. You're totally correct.
The creature gains a bonus to all skills. The beast.
Okay, so I need to do this I need to look at the fucking Eldritch Invocations, because I need to find out a way that you can use.
your proficiency bonus. Has hit points equal to 2 times your rogue level.
Okay, so I need to look at the packed weapons. Pact of the Blade.
Your sworn bond creature is soul deep. That means nothing, but it's going to function until I have a better phrase.
Oh boy, this is gonna be bad. Oh, here we go. Right.
If your bonus is killed, you may bring them back to life in unoccupied space within 5 feet of you. If your bonus is killed, you may bring them back to life within 5 feet of you. Within 5 feet of you, if what? If you spend at least by spending at least, not at least, just exactly 1 minute deeply focusing on them. Has its own turn and combat, acting on your initiative. I'm going to get that phrasing exactly from the recent summons that they've been doing, which are like the aberrant. There's one for like aberrations and stuff. Spell Summon Aberrant Spirit is an example. And they did a new way of doing initiative tracking there. You call forth corporeal form. The creature shares your initiative count, but takes its own turn. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately after yours. That phrasing is now my phrasing. Everything's going wrong. Got it in 5. All right, in combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately after yours. Takes its turn. Actually, we're going to say immediately before yours.
Super easy.
For the functions of this.
All right. Done. Done.
In combat.
Oh boy.
I think that actually that might function as it stands. We might be there. Beginning when you choose this archetype for a bomb, so it covers the health, it covers basically everything else, and then it just says use whatever stat block you have with these modifications, which is, I think, functional. Yeah, I don't know. I think that works. There's some detail that's going to have to be done. And I do think, I mean, obviously this would be benefited by having a fully fleshed out stat block, but we're just not going to have time to do that right now. So I think that where we're at on Sworn Companion is as close as we're going to get to a stat block without making one. and I think that's gonna do it. And so it's gonna get hijinks at I honestly feel like it should get this at 3rd level along with the other stuff. At 3rd level, which means we do need another feature on this guy. At 9th level, this actually feels like a pretty decent time to get this. 9th level seems kind of fair for this. It's where things are getting to the point where like it's going to be obnoxious. Like, you know, you'll have your familiar and like use it a little bit in combat, but you know, I think that's a good point. So 13th level feature. So we got one more idea that we need. Let me catch up with chat a little bit and see where other people are at right now. Purple Knight, I haven't looked over there, but Purple Neko-chan saying, I love how level 14 is blah, 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 dragon shows up. Oh no, I only have 3 minutes after 232 feet. It's free real estate. Oh no, I need a whole other feature in 3 minutes. All right, let's see. What can a monkey do that you couldn't do on your own? Oh wait, okay. Beginning at we got a quick one. I got a quick one here to toss in that I think actually kind of works.
All right, guys, my capstone. We're getting there.
When your familiar attacks, sneak attack, dice in place of its normal damage dice. Familiar does so, you may not apply sneak attack on your next turn. During your next turn. Turn on. We got 1 minute, Jeremy. It's crunch time. Beginning at 13th level when you're familiar. You know what? This is functional. That's a functional feature. We got all the things. Let's see if we can punch up. Let's see if we can punch up our thing. Let's go. Archetype have been that works with them through thick and thin. Trained beyond the
Okay, oh, we're done.
Normal companion to.
All right, we're done. We're done.
Wheel and to pick blocks. Done. Oh wait, we're done. Since I was looking at the screen.
We're done. We're out of time. We're out of time, Pete.
Jeremy, you want to go first, or would you like me to go first? We're done.
Yeah, I'll start this off. Oh boy, what the
It seems like you came through in the last moments, Jeremy. It seems like things started to actually pop off.
Man, it was in the last moments too. All right, so let's start with chat. Thank you so much for playing along. By the way, to any of you who participated in the Design Dash, or I'm sorry, it's not called Design Dash. That's someone else's proprietary thing. This lab experiment. Thank you very much. I hope you guys had a good time and are excited to look at what you created. Pete, where should they share their stuff Obviously, it's super rough cut draft form like all of this. Where should they share that so that we look at it once we've looked at these?
You should pop them into the workshop, which is on our Discord link below. At me at him. I see V Bunny has already done this. He has made a. It's the Way of the Dancing Dragon.
Oh, you combine them! I'm very excited.
Which is interesting. I'm excited to see what you went with for that. V Bunny has one in there, and so if you played along at home or you just have something you want to share, pop it into the workshop there, and we're going to go over these. I think that's the only stuff we're going to go over today, because obviously these take a while to do. We have a whole hour carved out for it, and I'm really excited to see what you guys do. I shout out, claps. I clap for anyone who decided to take on the challenge with us. These are very difficult.
They're a lot of fun, though.
As you can see me and Jeremy just panicking on the screen the whole time.
Sorry, it wasn't quite as chatty this time, guys. I was like,
both of us were definitely focused on what we're doing.
Pete, let me start us off.
Yeah, Jeremy, let's see your dragon.
All right, I created a dragon patron warlock, which I guess that's just it. It doesn't have a cool name. It doesn't have any flavor text. We don't have any of that. We just have dragon patron warlock. This was a nightmare because I had to avoid overlap with a sorcerer. The Draconic Soul Sorcerer gets armor class from their scales, extra hit points for durability. They get wings and can fly. They get resistance to a damage type. They get a fearful presence effect. They get all the things that really make dragons, except for breath weapons. So I really tried to hone in on that where I could. Expanded spell list. This is like half-baked. I mean, Detect Magic, Thunderwave, and Wrathful Smite. I think, like...
I like Thunderwave.
Yeah. Yeah. I think now that I've created another feature in this, I'd like to go back and change some of these to add more single-target damaging spells, and we'll get to that later. But at second level, Dragon's Breath and See Invisibility. Those are obvious answers or inclusions. Elemental Weapon, I thought was a haste, and actually get rid of Tiny Servant. I liked Elemental Weapon. It's the idea of like the dragon bestowing their breath weapon onto
that for sure works for me.
That just seems really cool flavor-wise.
I'm 100% with you on that.
Haste, because this is a melee.
This is a beat-em-up warlock.
Melee warlock. 4th level, Lehman's Secret Chest just made sense for hiding stuff. I don't know if I'd include that now, but I like it. And Staggering Smite, because melee.
The flavor on Lehman's Secret Chest, I think, works even if it doesn't necessarily have the synergy with the class.
Yeah, 5th level, I forgot to include, but I think if I went back, I'd pick some single target damaging spells. So here's what we get. At first level, you get Draconic Endowment. At first level, you've been gifted with some of the supernatural powers of your patron. As a bonus action, you can manifest your Draconic Endowment, gaining the following benefits for 1 minute or until you end the effects as a bonus action. You can manifest Draconic Claws, which are D8 weapons. When you attack with your claws, you can use your Charisma modifier instead of Strength or Dexterity for the attack and damage rolls. And you manifest Draconic Scales, which protect you from harm. You have resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. I know dragons don't get that, but that made sense to me, and that kind of worked.
It makes no, I'm with you. Just because it's not on the stat block, their resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage is their 8 million fucking health. Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that. A nice simple kit for here's your first level stuff. I also created an Eldritch Invocation called Draconic Weapons. And that is the claws bestowed by your... you have to be a dragon patron to pick this invocation. And the claws bestowed by your Draconic Endowment feature count as pact weapons for you and can be created using your pact magic feature even when you are not currently manifesting your Draconic Endowment. So I liked that as my kind of workaround for, hey, you want to be a melee warlock and use a pact the blade invocations? Well, here's an invocation that lets you do that.
I like that you added that.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, no, it's good. I mean, that starts to make it come together. That's, I guess, another thing about just warlock patrons in general is there's a lot of support little things that kind of go along with it. So
yeah, so the melee is really just entirely dealt with in that, right? It's you have these cool claws, you have this extra armor, and you get some spells like Wrathful Smite and Staggering Smite and Haste, which back up that magic. At 6th level, we kind of go on a little bit different spell casting route, and that's by 6th level, your Draconic Endowment has been enhanced to include one of the dragon's most fearsome and useful features, its breath. You can use your breath as a spell casting focus spell as you cast. Additionally, when you cast a damaging Warlock spell that targets a single creature, you can cause the spell to target each creature in a 30-foot line or each creature in a 30-foot cone instead.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it again until you finish a long rest. Yeah, I wanted to take the weakening breath of the gold dragon and make a way for you to do that. So, this isn't weakening breath, though. So, maybe, I don't know.
You have to look at the spell list and see what breaks it. Like, obviously, the first one that I'm thinking of as being really good would be, like, a hold person breath, where you hold, you're holding people.
It becomes very, very good. V-Money, I'm glad you like it. I do too. I went with damaging specifically for the hold person, Pete. Specifically for that.
Oh, damaging. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Now, disintegrate breath is wicked good here.
Oh no!
And I might change that to a pact magic spell, right?
Also,
because those are not pact magic spells.
Yeah,
6th level plus.
It doesn't mess with you're using a warlock spell slot.
So I think that's the direction to go. But anyway,
that's very cool.
I liked that a lot.
I'm
10th level,
very into that.
Force of Will, starting 10th level, when you would fail a saving throw, you can choose to succeed instead. And once you use a feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
Pretty good. It's good. It works.
And 14th level, I kind of ran out of time a little bit. By the time you're 14th level, your Draconic Patron grants you powers likened to their own, granting you the following benefits. Because your Draconic Endowment deal additional 1d6 elemental damage. Didn't have time to figure out how I would write the damage type based on the dragon. And your Dragon's Breath and Force of Will features can be used twice instead of once per rest. So, everything is more.
Yeah, I like that design, actually.
I did too, actually. Nice and simple.
Yeah, I don't know. Jeremy, you were really struggling, but I think you came out with something pretty cool here, honestly. Like, in particular...
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I mean, I'm sure that you're in agreement. That Dragon's Breath feature is very inspiring and seems really fun to use. That's the draw of this.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, you're a melee guy and you're slashing people with your claws, and that's cool too. And I felt like even though this first level feature is giving you, basically AC and damage, which is not too different from the sorcerer, I figured this is so different because it's a melee fighting than what you're going to do as a sorcerer, that I thought it was definitely distinct enough with the draconic weapons and whatnot. I really love where this came out, actually.
I like it too. I actually think that you, who were struggling the whole time, ended up a little better shape than I did. Because I kind of did a lot of grouting on mine right at the last moment.
Well, it's a struggle, right, of what the direction to go. And once you pick that direction for the dragon, it's not that bad. I decided I want to focus on the breath, and I made the breath the star of the show. But
yeah, and the breath is the star of the show. I mean, again, that's a feature that is inspiring to use, and it's every player who brings that. This is a great thing. This is I think you can learn a lesson from design here, Beetle, is when you design a feature that isn't just it does this thing, but it's a tool that allows the player to use it creatively. Every player is going to have a blast looking through and being oh, which spell do I personally think is the one that breaks this the most? That's actually great design. It sounds like you're doing something that can be easily broken, which isn't the case. That's great design when players are thinking that way about a feature. Anyway, I think you did a really good job with this, Jeremy.
Thank you, Pete. It was terrifying.
It was very close. It was very close down to the line, but it worked out.
Pete, you want to talk us through the bonded?
Yeah, the one with the monkey. So the man and his monkey, yeah. The bonded is where I'm at. I want another name. I'm gonna continue to think about this. I really actually like this concept, Jeremy. As it turns out,
I do
I
too.
might
I love it.
finish.
That's why I gave it to you.
Yeah, I might finish this because I very much like this. But
I mean, we already did all the work on it. We might as well finish it.
yeah, well, fair. Yeah, we have the bonded here, and the little write up I did for it in 2 seconds was: there's no greater asset for a scoundrel than a reliable partner in crime. Rogues of this archetype have been bonded with an animal companion that works with them through thick and thin, trained beyond the skill level of a normal companion to even steal and to pick locks. Is a rough hash of what you would want this to say. Sworn Companion is the feature that we're going to be kind of governing what our creature does with, let's see where we ended up here. Beginning when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, you have formed a bond with a tiny beast of challenge rating 0. The creature has the same dexterity, wisdom, and charisma scores as you, but uses all of the beast's other abilities as normal. So this is a beast that's obviously a little bit more, not necessarily intelligent, but at least like more cognizant, more present. I don't think of intelligence. Yeah, I don't think of intelligence as the only thing that governs intelligence in D&D, if that makes sense. Like intelligence, I think of as history. So when I say like a wise and very charismatic animal, I think as being as like sentient as a person, you know. So that's my rationale for those choices. The bonded beast gains a bonus to all skills, saving throws, and ability checks it makes equal to your proficiency bonus, and has hit points equal to 2 times your rogue level. Your sworn bond with this creature is soul deep. If the bonded beast is killed, you may bring them back to life in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of you by spending 1 minute deeply focusing on them. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately before yours. So the come back to life thing, I was thinking about how I wanted to like describe like what is obviously a supernatural thing that is also, I think, necessary for this to function as a class. Because I didn't want this to be a supernatural thing, but you also can't have your beast dying. So I'd want to work on the flavor of that. But I think functionally, just like you can just focus for a minute and you get your guy back, kind of works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, it seemed like you were gonna go.
Yeah, well, it's very hand wavy, I think is what it is.
That's the way. I mean, that was a hand wave of last minute time redoing the beast at the last second, because originally it was just Find Familiar.
Yeah, well, Find Familiar is weird too.
Yeah, well, I was looking at some of like the baggage of Find Familiar, and I wasn't as crazy about it. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but takes its turn immediately before yours.
Yours. I like that.
Yeah, that was a choice to like also set up some of the features that I have here. So the next thing we have here is impeccable trading. Your familiar gains proficiency in any skill in which you have expertise. I actually really like the way that went. That's just very crisp. It just works. For the next one, which is hijinks, this is kind of like the core you and your familiar work together feature. At 3rd level, when you and your familiar are able to work together, to perform coordinated strikes. When your bonded beast takes the help action to aid you in combat, your next attack gains one of the following effects against that target. It should phrase. So you can burgle. If your sneak attack damage is applied to the attack, your familiar steals an item stowed somewhere on the target the target creature's person. So you can take something out of a pocket that needs rules text. That was more just to show like what it's going to do. Distract. If your sneak attack damage is applied to the target, they got to succeed in an int save. Save DC would be based on something, or be blind until the end of the next turn. Or you can trip, and this is the one that I like the best where it's at, and that one's be blinded. Trip's the one I like the most, which is if your sneak attack damage is applied to the attack, the target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. So you can have your familiar like. I picture like the monkey kind of scrambling around behind their legs, and then you hit them and they fall over the monkey, like tripping on their foot. That kind of goofy stuff is, I think, what you want for this. Next up, we have Protective Instincts, which is the 9th level feature. if your bonded beast would be targeted by an attack while it is within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to force the attack to target you instead. When you succeed on a saving throw against a spell or effect that targets an area and deals damage, it should say your bonded beast automatically succeeds on that save and suffers no damage from it. Which was just sort of, you can protect your creature. Because that's another thing that I think would become unfun about playing this class is when you get to high level Cone of Colds and stuff, that your beast just always dies, inevitably, to those in one.
Do you think it's okay to wait till 9th level for that, though?
9th level was the point where I thought that the spells got problematic enough consistently enough to do it. Like, I don't think...
Fireball.
Yeah, I mean, there's Fireball. Well, there's also just Dragon Breath weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
I am not sure.
Mm-hmm.
It might be.
Okay.
Originally, I had it earlier, and I had Hijinks here at 9th level, but I also felt like Hijinks was the fun thing to do with this. So you kind of need that at 3rd level, and I didn't want to overload 3rd level.
Yeah, V-Bunny was asking, like, Uncanny Dodge or evasion features. I think, like the Owl's Flyby is a really interesting ability, as is the... I know the Demi-Lich has a feature called Avoidance, where if it succeeds on a saving throw, it takes no ill effects from it, basically. And maybe because you were thinking about making a stat block for this guy, right?
Yeah. If I gave them a stat block, I would do the avoidance thing for sure.
Yeah, you stick and even just like something where like they don't provoke opportunity attacks might be really cool, because I think the idea for these guys is like, a dungeon master might have like, this monkey is blinding me over and over. The orc uses one of its 3 attacks and murders your monkey, right?
Yeah, I added the reaction economy for it differently. Originally, I had it just as like the Cavalier feature.
Yeah.
Or what's not the Cavalier feature? The combatant feature, which just lets them target. If you target your mount, they can just force it to target you, which I don't think is on an action economy, and I think that's probably the way to go.
Well, I just meant from the like, if the creature, because I imagine they're small and wily, if they just their movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks, that kind of handles some of that just in its own right?
You want some
because they can just run away.
They're on some flyby shit.
That might be a cool idea.
Yeah, that was part of it. Also, I was kind of like a little bit what I was going for with the blinded feature was like you don't provoke opportunity attacks. Just to the blinded thing only lasts until the end of the turn. Because I thought blinding at 3rd level.
Till the end of your next turn, right?
No, to the end of the turn. Oh wait, that messes up. That messes up with the way that I ended up. Some of this is a remnant of Find Familiar, so it's a little bit messed up. The action economy was going to work on that. The intention is it was like a glorified, this thing doesn't get to take any opportunity attacks, so you and your familiar get to run away. Like,
so monkey goes, and then it's your turn. Monkey goes, monkey blinds the creature, it's your turn, you attack the creature and run away, the creature is not blinded then. When your turn ends, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it'd be busted if you could just blind it all the time.
I love these, by the way.
The hijinks?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, gosh, the Burgle's funky.
Burgle doesn't have mechanics right now, is the problem with Burgle.
Okay. But we're putting those?
Yeah, that was like I don't have time to write this very complicated idea I want to get across. But it seems like what you do with this subclass. So I wanted to like put a reference to it in there, and we'll come back for it. Let's look at the 13th level feature. We have Go for the Eyes here, which this was my 13th level. Oh shit, I needed one of these 3-second feature. I actually kind of like it. Beginning at 13th level, when your familiar attacks on its turn, it may use your sneak attack damage in place of its normal damage dice. If your familiar does so, you may not apply sneak attack on your next turn. So they just can do an attack that is equal to your sneak attack. And then that counts as your sneak attack for the round. But you could do things like, I picture, your monkey, like, if you've separated from your monkey a little bit and they're fighting over there, they might go for the eyes,
I like that. That's a really good feature. Well named, too.
And last but not least, the switcheroo. Oh man, I wrote this one very quick as well. I can barely remember what it does. Beginning at 17th level, you and your bonded beasts can work together to steal objects right out from under a creature's nose. When you hit a creature with an attack that deals your sneak attack damage, you can command your familiar to steal a carried object from that creature if it is within 5 feet of your target. Your familiar creature must enter a contested dexterity sleight of hand check with the creature. On a success, the creature drops an item it is carrying, and your familiar may pick it up if it weighs 5 or less pounds. So this is a glorified disarm that you can do a lot at high levels. And I picture this as, kind of what you were describing, Jeremy, which is like the liches holding up their phylactery and like their powerful wand of Orcus, and your monkey grabs it.
Monkey runs away with the skull.
The monkey runs away with the skull focus. Which, how do you feel about the skill contest for that?
I think it needs to be something different than dexterity sleight of hand contest, but I think dexterity sleight of hand contested by something else might work.
I think that they can contest it probably with athletics or dexterity sleight of hand.
Maybe. I mean, I'm sure there's a way to do it.
Or maybe there's they make a some save DC against a number that you run. There's a way to do it. I like the idea of binding it to your monkey's sleight of hand, so you get to actually consistently make a skill check with your monkey.
Yeah, I'm contested by wisdom perception. Maybe is another cool thing everybody was suggesting.
There should probably be a few.
I really love this, and I like this as the 17th level feature too, because it's too strong anywhere else. But at 17th level, like, this is your capstone. This is the big thing you do, and I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot.
It's kind of like a panache.
Went with this.
It's kind of like a panache on the swashbuckler rogue. I was going for that design, which I think that design is really bad on panache, but as a capstone, I think it's in a little bit better of a place.
Well, I also like that you tied this with your sneak attack, right? It's like you're making, and I like that you tied a lot of things with the sneak attack, where it's you're making an opening for the monkey, or the monkey's making an opening for you. And I like that duality. That's exactly what I had envisioned when I said this, and I'm really glad that you both picked up on it and found a really fun way to do it.
Well, thank you, man. I like this. Like, this is a very complicated design that I ended up. You were definitely right about that. I underestimate, or actually, that's not right. I didn't underestimate this subclass. I overestimated Find Familiar when I started designing it, and then when I was reading through, I was like, man, I don't like Find Familiar that much. I'm gonna come back, make a stat block for your guy. And really refine this thing, because I think that this would be a really fun.
Yeah, and I think this will benefit so much from a stat block.
I am such a big fan. I think this is a rare opinion. I'm such a huge fan of the Thief Rogue, that I just can't imagine playing any other rogue. But this is actually, I feel like, it's something that I would want to play in place of a thief, because it has a lot of the style of the thief in just a different package that's kind of flavorful. So
I got two questions for you, Pete. So when you make that stat block, are you going to incorporate stuff for flying companions as well, like little birds, like a parrot?
I don't know. I'm considering it. I want you to be able to have a parrot. So probably,
or like an aquatic one, like an otter or something, could be very cute.
That would be really dope.
I love this. I love this. This is actually super awesome. I've got a player in a campaign that I was running. It's been on hiatus because of the plague. But one of my players has an otter companion that they found.
Otters are one of my favorite animals.
They've bound as they're familiar with baby otter, and I mean, I might just lift whatever you designed for this and be like, here are some cool things your otter can do.
Sword was saying,
I was going to do stuff like that anyway, so you just saved me a lot of effort.
Well, Jeremy, was this why you did the man and his monkey? Was this was this your master plan all along?
No, it actually wasn't. It just happens that way. All the otters. Everyone loves otters.
Pete, where are we at? I suggested a quick cover. I just want to read this really quick. I suggested quick cover. The beast's animal instincts allow them to anticipate danger, seeking immediate cover. Using a reaction, the creature can hide behind any available cover and have damage reduction based on the amount of cover given. might be like, I feel like we want it to be ultimately just an absolute, like, just some kind of absolute dodge that prevents them from taking damage completely. But that might be, it might be interacting with cover might be a good direction for that.
Anywho, Pete, it is now it's quarter to 10 your time. Do we want to take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll look at all the awesome stuff that you guys as a community put together, and then we'll take a look at this Unearthed Arcana.
That sounds wonderful to me.
All right, folks, we're going to be back in just a few moments. Stay tuned. Then we're going to look at the awesome stuff that you made in our 1 hour experiment too.
I'm excited to see what you guys came up with.
All right, see you in a minute.